Hey guys, Ron here. Saturday night, a reasonable time, like 10 o'clock at night. So it's a quick update on a couple of things. It's a semi-Windows tutorial, a crypto mining slight tutorial, and a couple of odds and ends. So here we go. So this was the test setup, is the test setup today. It's only got the 3 cards. This one's not hooked up. These are NVIDIA's. This is an AMD. And there's an important reason for that, I'll tell you. So we've got dual power supplies, dual power supply jumper, a red power switch jumper. So it's a momentary switch at the end. The camera is not focusing right lately. Okay. We got 3 riser cards. We got 960, 1050, and a little Asus cheap but decent card. Just another interesting detail. And here we've got wireless access, wireless remote for internet, VGA connector hooked to this monitor, and you saw me put in that $39 CPU and that cheap stick of memory. This one requires 2 6-pin connectors. This one requires 1 6-pin connector. We've got a disk drive over here, which is going to has a basic system on it and operating system and basics. That's it's an old laptop drive. It does the job, but it's pretty slow. So we're going to put this guy in here. This is a 60 gig SSD, cheap too, like $39, $35. That's all you need just to run an operating system, a couple of, your nice hash miner and all that. So here's some interesting facts. What they don't tell you about NiceHash is if you're running NVIDIA cards, you go to NiceHash 2, you load the software, and when you run it, it automatically will scan, see what cards you have, and then you do a quick benchmark and you're ready to go. If you got AMD cards, you got to get a NiceHash Legacy. It's a bunch of zip files. There's a bunch of different versions. They're third party, and those a little more complicated. You got to unzip them, run them. It's got to scan your stuff, and but it works. It does what it does. But interesting stuff here. So now, one of the other things you have to do is go to Windows and shut off updates. Any kind of updates or going out and doing something will stop the miner from mining. It'll put an interrupt in it. So that's important. You got to do that. The other thing is, let me start this guy up and show you something interesting too. One of the important things that's hard to do sometimes is to find the drivers and get Windows to recognize all the devices. This was in sleep mode, so I didn't have to start up the power switch. Let me go to Windows Administration Tools, Computer Management. If we can get Device Manager. So you go to Device Manager, and you can go look at all this stuff. Keyboards, display adapters, disk drives, computer system, network adapters, so on and so forth. Sound. So here on display adapters, it shows I got the Intel HD 610 graphics, which is the built-in on the BIOS, on the motherboard, I'm sorry, on the chip and the motherboard, internal graphics system. Then we got an NVIDIA GT 1030. That's the little guy on the end. We got the 1050, was the next one in. And we've got the 960, which is the big card over to the right with the 2 connectors on it. Now, you got to go find these drivers sometimes, and sometimes it's not easy. But if you go to, if you put in devices, you plug everything in, and then you go to Windows display adapters and click this. Actually, you go up here where it says Action, scan for hardware changes, add legacy hardware, devices and printers, properties. But it's simple enough. You usually can just go here, click this, double click, and it'll show what you have. And if you have new stuff and it doesn't show, you just sit there a couple of minutes. It'll automatically scan and go look for it. Either look for it with your Windows system built in, or it'll go out online and do it automatically. It'll find it. So that's important. You need to do that so that the stuff is recognized. So that's done. I had to load NiceHash 2 instead of the Legacy I was using for the AMD cards. I was using Legacy with mixed cards, some AMD, some NVIDIA, but it saw the cards, but when it went out to mine, it didn't use all the cards. It was interesting. It would use, like, I had 5 cards, it would use 2 of them. This is an update state for NVIDIA cards. So here you see it found the 1050, the 960, and the 1030. It found them. No problem. It's already mining. I already did the benchmarks and everything. But it kept stopping. It mined for about a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and it would stop. And you have to restart it, and you do that from this icon. Oh, this is the big bucks. $1.13 average a day with 3 GPUs. These are cheap GPUs. This is all experimental. And so I had to go in and go to Windows, go to System, go to Settings, stop all interruptions, all notifications, all automatic updates. Do it all manually. You should do that anyway, so you know what's going on. So now she's mining. And it's helping to cool the 960 was the card I got the other day, brand new in the box from the kid. So also this is the 1030, and that's the 1050, which actually has a backing plate. It was a cheap card. So basically that's the system. That's how you do it. Now I'm going to build this into a rig, a case, open case, and then go try to find a good board and see if I can get this thing up to I'd like to get it up to like $500 a month, because that'd be fun. And just let it sit. Alright guys, so that's it. Also, this video card is an AMD. So I'm going to put that in good old Frankenstein over here. Up on the top shelf now, waiting for something to do. I'm going to put that in there. It's got the built-in graphics from the AMD chip. It's an APU, but I figure we'll put one in there anyway, make it a little updated, make it nice. The other interesting thing is I got the glass on the Core 3, and it's pretty darkly smoked. It's a nice tinted glass, tempered steel, tempered glass. And so I figured with it that dark, because the plexi was extremely clear, you know, just clear. So I figured with it that dark, we'll add some LEDs just to light it up gently. So for behind hot smoke glass, it'll light the system and look really nice, I think. So that's one of the projects, something to do. Alright guys, and so this guy's back to the FX card, XFX. It runs graphics beautifully, it's fine. And this has that WindForce, which is a great card. These are both AMDs, so I'm not going to, anything I get in the video, I'm going to stick in this system here. This one will take 6 cards. I got 6 slots. I got 3 I hooked up and 3 to go, and that'll be it. No big deal. I'm not going to help with the ruining the market for graphics cards. But Bitcoin was $5 grand, and it was down to 3,900 about 3 days ago, and now it's back up to like 4,100. It's volatile, but it's not going anywhere. It's going to keep going. It's a giant mess again. I got to clean this up, but I want to give you a quick update. I use this wired gaming mouse. I got a few of these just for backup on all this stuff. Plus, to make it decent, I tie wrapped up these cables that we're not using. You know, modular would be better because you can pick out the cables you need, but these are the supplies I had on hand. So, alright guys, this is a quick weird video just for the fun of it. 10/19, Saturday, September 16th. Alright, summer's over, hard to believe. This thing's still running. This one's got information. It's like data information up front, and the one behind it is the one that shows that you see it's moving. It's mining. And for you guys that hate mining, the idea of it, I thought they were, miners were ruining the market. It's just another thing, if you can make a few bucks, nothing wrong with that. But it's like being ecologically responsible. There's got to be a way to do it without hurting the markets. But this thing now it just runs and runs. It's ultra reliable. And this little system's ultra reliable now. Like I said, I got a wireless keyboard, VGA monitor, wireless internet, and one disk drive. It's a terrific little system. So worst case, it's another computer you can use. But so it's perfect to put in that. I'm going to put it in that open case frame and try to get 6 decent cards on there. 6 decent cards probably get us up to possibly $20 a day. So that's just $600 a month. So that's worth it. All right, guys. Sorry if this is boring and rambling, but that's how I am today. I'm boring and rambling today. It's been one of those days, let me tell you. Alright, guys. Hey, guys, I thought this would be a nice shot. I got the lights down. I got an LED power supply with their blue Apivia, 700 watts, $45. I've been stressing the crap out of it just to test it. I put a big load on it, and I got a Variac with a big resistor, which is a giant rheostat basically. And I put a huge load on this thing, and it handled it fine. And this red fan I had laying around. I just wanted to get back for a second and tell you that I'm not going to really be able to edit this much, but I'll assemble it. So sorry for the rambling video, but just trying to get information out there and let you guys know I'm still out here. What's that coffee cup doing on there? That's against the rules. No liquids on the table. I tell everybody that. I'm gonna fire myself. So, alright, that's that. Alright, guys. And that system's hooked to that guy. And this guy's a freelance. And this guy can do whatever we gotta do. And this is turned into a workbench. And under there is a Vivo tempered glass case. Alright, guys. Just a quickie at the end of this. Lights are off. Godfather's on. I haven't watched the movie in a while. But I wanted to show you because of the way the system is set up, it's very flexible. I can do this. I can do my other stuff, clear this area, and still do what I gotta do. I can still watch my movies. Just take this VGA plug and plug it into that system. I can sit here with one mouse and do my editing. And a pair of headphones even if I want. So, that was just the updates, last few seconds. Every time I shut this thing off, I think of something to tell you guys, so that's it. But I've been benchmarking some of these cards that get used for graphics. They're scoring pretty high, and the graphic quality is gorgeous, especially the AMDs. They got an ultra high resolution mode, they call it, super resolution. It's a beautiful thing. Alright, guys, thanks for putting up with my stuff. I'm like Schizo Motors here, think of something, do something else, got something else going on, do something else on top of that. These are the risers. They need a 12-volt connector and a USB, and that plugs into the little end card. Actually, you can plug this into the 16-speed slot, any of the slots. It's got the little connector. I don't know if this guy's focusing properly or not today. Let's check out my settings. Alright guys, so I gotta clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna leave the system like this till this case comes. I'll get hold of you guys when the case comes. I found a full metal rack up for 8 GPUs and a motherboard, 2 power supplies, $53. I went and figured out it was steel, aluminum, wood. I couldn't build it for that, so I ordered it, Newegg. And after I ordered it, I went to get another one. They're out of stock. I got the last one. So that should be here next week. So I'll throw this in a case, throw it on top of that table. When the winter comes, put it by that window. Northeast is nice, In the winter, you got nice cool air all the time. You cool these things off. Because even this little system that isn't much, it makes a lot of heat and runs these GPUs at 99 to 100%. And they get hot. They get 160, 167 Fahrenheit. about 70 Celsius. So, you know, you learn to do this, you become a BIOS master. It's good. Alright guys, I'm really out for now. Alright? Oh, one more thing. The X96 streaming box over there.
You don't even think to call me Godfather.
I was bored the other night. I threw it on. There was Logan Lucky and all this new stuff. I don't know how they're getting that to work, but it works fine. Alright guys. One more time. One more time. Out for now. See you later. Happy flying. Enjoy the light show.
Everything suffered, eh? She suffers.
I think that's subtle, you know, that's kind of nice. Doesn't look like Christmas lights, you know? Alright, I gotta watch The Godfather. The funniest thing was Dom DeLuise in Cannonball Run when he played Dum Dum. And he's sitting there with the cat. This cat is dead. And Telly Savalas is bringing him another cat. Those were the classics, you know? It's good to see all those old movie stars acting stupid. Alright guys, rambling's enough. Oh yeah, speaking of Rambo. Alright guys, later.
Scum that one your daughter would be suffering this very day.